in just a little bit. As I say, welcome everyone to Nat20Hot. We are back for another session, and we're all very excited about that. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, we're very happy to have you. And we are just a group of people who stream a homebrew campaign, and we are on session 6 now. Very exciting. And before we jump in, I will send a quick note that we are doing this for fun, and we're also doing it for the kids. We're doing it for Extra Life, which is a foundation of America's Children's Hospital. So if you drop a donation, the link will be in the chat. It is a great way to raise money for children in need and support our crippling healthcare system here in the United States. And now let's get into it with a brief recap of where we left our last session. When we last left our heroes, they had ventured out into the cold night of the Grey Ridge Mountains to finally face a feathered foe that had ravaged this small mountain settlement that they found themselves in. Meanwhile, Willem sat paralyzed in fear in the longhouse. The rest of the party, however, did battle with the winged creature, revealing itself to be another monster, not of this world, which is becoming a bit of a pattern for our friends here. After a difficult and challenging fight, the party sampled the creature and opened up its stomach, spilling out all manner of dead and decaying creatures onto the dirt floor of the settlement, including the partially digested arm that the party recognized as belonging to Erica, the young woman that Willem had previously trailed out of Westwatch. Upon freeing and discussing this with Lyra, the person who originally brought them to Westwatch, you all were able to, or rather unable, to pick up the trail, and instead made your way back to Westwatch to reconvene with Lyra and potentially retrieve a lead on Erica's whereabouts, which you in fact did. In talking with the barkeep at the famous Cracked Flagon, you were informed that Erica's group is rather new to the area and is likely camped out further up the mountains, just off the main road leading into the mountains from Westwatch. After learning this, you did reconnect with Lyra and learned quite a bit. It was a very informative session for you all, as she revealed that things that Elray was not quite comfortable revealing with you. And in addition to outing Branwen as a fae to her party members, she did express that you are all connected in some obscure way, and that she does believe that the increase in beasts, summonings, assaults, thieves, and general unrest on the continent of Yusan is just as connected, and is likely not being done by forces within the continent, or at least no one smart enough to do so. Instead, she believes that there are greater forces from beyond this realm that are influencing the unsuspecting citizens of Yusan. The name Charlotte Hale, Queen of the Winter Court and unfamiliar to all but one of you, was whispered in hushed tones as a potential thread to pull on. And with that, we find ourselves in an early morning in Westwatch as you close the door behind you of Lyra's offices, and now stand in the city streets of Westwatch in an early morning. What would you like to do?
Did we go take a nap yet?
You have not. You have been up almost all night.
Shit, let's
You
go
should
take
go
a
to
nap.
sleep.
Sorry,
You know
I
who
was
doesn't need a
scared
nap?
before, guys.
Willem. Willem doesn't need a nap.
I was dealing with trauma.
Can we go take a nap in a nicer place than whatever that the place was called? Cracked Flagon?
Sure. You are aware of one other location that Willem has shared with you, which is Beaumont's Rest.
Go take a nice nap.
Okay. You'll be heading over to Beaumont's Rest then?
Yes.
All right. So you do make your way out of the like kind of the central square of Westwatch and find that it is quite a lovely morning. Now that the sun has fully risen and things have started to move and groove throughout the town, you're greeted by the traditional aromas of fresh baked bread, sizzling bacon in nearby restaurants and inns, and you're also seeing quite a bit of hustle and bustle throughout the streets. So there's voices of merchants, they're hawking their wares, jingling of coin. And then you're also hearing quite a bit of chatter from the locals. They're kind of milling about, and they seem to be uh, whispering and talking in hushed tones that previously you hadn't had the opportunity to really spend too much time listening to. But as you make your way through the city streets, you catch some snippets of conversation here and there. You hear word of a delayed shipment, and as you kind of start to listen in on a few other folks, you understand it to be of gemstones. There's a delayed shipment of gemstones that have yet to arrive in the city. Rumbles of a poor catch, fishermen lamenting as they ready for the day's work, unhappy with what's been going on in their own personal work lives. But the news that everyone seems to be talking about, however, is that Chief Bertram took a nasty tumble down the stairs outside the town hall and has left him bedridden. And this occurred whilst you were out in the mountains. So this would be the town leader who has apparently taken quite the fall and is now bedridden. Are any of you doing anything on your walk to Westwatch, or rather to Beaumont's Rest?
Super eavesdropping.
Okay. Roll a investigation check. And are you doing so quietly, or are you trying to make it seem as though you're not listening?
Probably.
So I'll have you do an investigation check and a stealth check.
Well, investigation was a solid 8,
Okay.
and the stealth was a solid 6.
You
I'm
are
gonna be
neither
super nice.
stealthy nor perceptive as you make your way kind of through the town toward west, like towards Beaumont's Rest. And in fact, you at one point kind of trip as you're kind of nearing a group of people who kind of take a step back. You're right, love. Nasty fall there. Something we can help you with?
I'm definitely still covered in blood and monster goo. I'm like, yeah, no, this is fine.
Fair enough. Listen, just mind your stealth
Sorry.
around town, would you?
Yep.
Anybody else doing anything or attempting to do anything?
I was gonna roll investigate, but then I got a 1, so
Yeah, you hear nothing of note as you make your way through the town.
We all
And
need a nap.
it's a pretty
Are
short walk. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to ask, are people attempting to speak privately and quietly, or is this just sort of out and
People
about
just-
conversation?
There are certainly people who are whispering and kind of talking amongst themselves, but you're also hearing this pretty openly.
I'll see what I can pick up.
It's like
in
the
a
beginning
soft
of Beauty and the
manner.
Beast.
People are kind of shoving their heads out of windows, shouting about there goes the people with their bread like always, things of that nature.
I got an 18 on my
Ah.
investigation check.
You are able to very keenly hear as you walk past, as you round the final corner before arriving at Beaumont's Rest. You overhear kind of the lingering elements of a conversation from a group of people who share that none of this seems all that surprising, and that Chief Bertram simply hasn't been himself since Redwyne came to town. And that is about the last that you pick up as you make your way toward the Beaumont's Rest. And as you kind of it comes into view, you're struck by this gorgeous, stunning view over the cliffs that Westwatch is built on, and kind of the beach and the waves out beyond. There's a lot of it's a bit of a rough sea today. You can see that the bay is quite ruckus with white caps, but you see this very quaint looking stone building that rises up from an open floor, kind of open to the sea, open to the air, ground level with a set of stairs that go up toward the entrance to Beaumont's Rest. And as you enter, not only do you see a wonderful view of the very same beach and waves that you caught outside, you also note the extreme difference between this location and the Cracked Flagon. It has very high ceilings, and hanging from those ceilings are bits of ferns and greenery. It gives it a very cozy and inviting feeling. There's this warm aroma of freshly baked bread, but it's mixing very harmoniously with the scent of salt water that comes off of the sea. the ceilings, while very high, do have like some like nice wooden beams throughout, and the floorboards, while they're old and start to creak, they're very gently as you kind of make your way towards the front desk. The common room that you find yourself in is very spacious, lots of comfortable chairs, and there are a good number of people kind of milling about. You get the sense that many of them are more of the elite of Westwatch who don't necessarily have to be jumping to work in this particular day. Um, and instead you find it kind of nice and quiet, and a one woman who kind of stands behind the desk greets you with a kind smile.
Yeah. What are the room rates here?
Ah, hello. Very kind to meet you. Your first night is 5 gold, and for every night after that, it's another 7.
7 gold?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
We run a very
Oh,
fine
yes.
establishment here, and we are happy
Yeah.
to welcome you to Westwatch.
I'm gonna go sleep outside.
I sort of
Yep.
mutter under my breath, like, "There's a reason I took you all to the crack flagon."
Well, I mean, we could at least get breakfast here. We could just get a nice
Yes,
breakfast.
I am happy to share with you our breakfast menu if that would be of interest to you.
Perhaps some of us, I say, looking at Branwyn, could also consider a bath. Maybe some laundry.
Will you all be staying together? We do welcome parties of adventurers. If we could certainly put up a larger room for you at no additional fee.
Is it okay if we go outside to take a moment to discuss?
Oh, but of course.
Maybe we'll just have a seat and look over the breakfast menu.
We'll take
Please
a copy of the breakfast menu quick, though.
feel free to take a seat in any one of our inviting chairs. The space is yours and open to the public. It is the rooms that cost extra, of course. But yes, if you need anything, I'm Talia.
Thank you kindly, Talia.
Yes, my pleasure. You all take a copy of the breakfast menu, which she hands to you, and take it over to a collection of armchairs that are near the hearth, and find the menu reads roasted watercress, boiled eggs and wheat bread, boiled eggs and dried turnips, dried pork and blue cheese. And each of those have a number of beverage options as well, such as ale, stout, or cider.
Appetizing.
What are the prices? What are the prices on this bed?
All of those are 10 silver apiece for a meal, which includes a drink and a meal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, let's go get
Some of the
street
clientele kind of observe you and are like sending shifty glances your way.
meat. As much as I desperately, desperately want to stay here, I do not have any money. Well, I have some money, but not that much.
Yeah,
Now-
I'm sleeping on the ground outside.
Were we, or rather you, not rewarded in any way for killing that monster? I sort of have blanked out a little bit as I was frozen in terror and confronting my horrid past. So, no money?
Get some gold.
Oh yeah, we gave the gold to Dunk to divvy out.
So, funny
Right.
story. I don't actually have that written on my character sheet anywhere.
57.
Well, I might have lost 50. Okay,
57 gold? Holy shit!
Yes.
No, we're eating here. We're eating here. We're taking a good
Okay.
nap here. Yeah, no. Let's treat ourselves and get a room.
Let's get a suite.
Okay.
We did good work, except for Willem.
So you're going to go and get a room from Talia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dunk, is that
Um,
okay? Treasurer.
Yeah.
You don't really have to wait very long. Talia's kind of floating between the different patrons and bringing over mugs of ale and cider, as well as some of the plates of boiled eggs. And she inevitably comes over to you. So, have you all decided on something that might tickle your fancy?
We'll get one of the adventurer suites
Oh,
rooms, the big
the
ones.
adventurer suites. Yes. Well, more than happy to oblige. And how many nights will you be staying?
We'll start with one.
Oh, terrific. It's yours for a day. 5 gold will be due at check-in, which is, well, now. And I can have the room made up for you at all due haste. And she kind of snaps her fingers, and 2 little gnomes kind of flank out from behind the front desk and one goes off to kind of ready your room while another waits and kind of with closed hands, grinning, waiting to escort you to the location.
If you guys want to get breakfast, I'll go take a bath because I'm covered in blood and monster
Yeah,
goo.
so am I. A lot of it my own.
I think all of us are except for Willem.
Should I get you anything to eat? Have it ready for you when we come
I would
out.
like a little snacky snack. Yeah, sure.
Yep. All right. Just let me know what you want, and I think we maybe should have a little conversation about what happened back there.
Is there a fireplace somewhere in this establishment?
There is a very nice fireplace. You are sitting across from it.
I'm tired.
Right. I will walk up to it, and I'm gonna start kind of roasting the snallygaster parts that I
Oh, yeah, we surfing her.
The Talia kind of goes, "Oh, begging your pardon, sir. I'd be more than happy to take that for you and have it prepared for you in one of our kitchens." And she starts to kind of enunciate and get a little bit perturbed at the end of that sentence. Yes.
No, thank you.
Oh, well, I'm afraid you can't do that out here. As much as we would care to oblige you, there are other patrons who are not interested in smelling your breakfast. But like I said, more than happy to have it taken care of in the kitchen and brought to your room, free of charge, sir.
Okay, so I'm just gonna, I guess I just kind of hand over the raw meat.
Yes. She kind of snaps her fingers and takes it. Thank you very kindly. And kind of places it in the hands of another gnome who has kind of arrived from the back, but this one has a little chef's hat on. Kind of gives it a curt nod and meanders into the back.
You guys, you employ a lot of gnomes.
Well, yes, they are among some of the best workers here in Yusan, and they flock here to the Beaumont's Rest, as it is, well, it's the finest establishment in Westwatch. So I'm sure that's what brought you here.
Can I roll an insight check?
Sure.
Are these
What do you
gnomes
hope-
being trafficked in any way?
Are these gnomes being gnome trafficked?
Is this an indentured servitude situation?
You can roll.
While all this nonsense is happening, we're doing shower shifts. I got first shower shift.
Yes,
It's gonna be a solid 14.
you are able to tell that that Talia seems to pay her workers quite handsomely, and this is actually like a really great place to work, but also is why it is so expensive.
And they're not fetishizing the gnomes for their workability in any way, correct?
Doesn't appear to be, no.
It's a very competitive place to work.
It is, yeah. And in
Yeah, I'll
Yusan,
go.
everybody
Yes,
wants
chef.
to
Thank
work.
you, chef.
Yes.
Unlike today in America, because of government handouts.
Exactly.
Nobody working.
No government handouts in Westwatch.
I'm writing that down in my notes. No.
Yes, no government
There's
handouts in Westwatch.
no social safety net.
No social safety net whatsoever. Branwen, you are escorted to the room. The gnome kind of waits for you at the door, like kind of stands by the door and points inside, opening the door for you. He says, "Have a wonderful stay," and then
Oh, thanks.
shuffles off down the hall, and then quickly runs back and says, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Shower is to your right in there. It's a bath, not a shower. And do enjoy your stay. If you have anything, any needs at all, there are sending stones on the end table that will contact the front desk."
You guys have like an armor cleaning service? I'm covered in blood. And
I would be
goo.
happy to bring
It's not
that
my
to
goo.
our armorer, and they could have that taken care of for you within a couple of hours.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I
Great.
do that.
Great. You leave your armor outside the door, and by the time you come back out, it is gone.
Yeah. And I put on my change of clothes. I have another outfit. It's cute.
Great. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm just kind of mostly patiently waiting for my
Surf and turf.
Snallygaster to
Yes. Assuming that you go back to the room within about 20 minutes, there is a knock, knock, knock at the door, and you smell the delightful aroma. It's a bit singed in multiple places, and the chef who's kind of standing there goes, "Apologies, sir. The best way to get this particular meat cooked through required more blackened technique. I hope you don't mind."
I mean, it smells surf and turfy.
Yes, I cooked it with a pomegranate reduction that we pick from the vine just outside the city. Hard to come by these days. It's only grown here on in Westwatch.
Oh, local.
Indeed.
Very nice.
Enjoy, sir. And with that, all of you are able to take a long rest. When you awake from your long rest, which proceeds without incident, it's definitely the late afternoon at this point. And Branwen, you have a parcel, kind of a canvas wrapped parcel outside the main door. And upon opening, you find your armor.
It's so clean. It's so shiny. Yeah, I put it on.
Is there anything you all
know.
would like to do? What would you like to do next?
Um,
Well, I never described the room that you find yourselves in, which is a
my God, it's
wonderful
so nice.
suite, which has 2 bedrooms attached to it, as well as a large kind of circular couch in the middle that is sunken in. So it's more of like a conversation couch that one might find in a traditional mid-century modern home. But at the center of the conversation couch is a kind of a built-in fireplace. So it's always constantly roaring with a very gentle fire, kind of soft
It sounds rad
embers.
as hell.
And everything around you is made of like wonderful teaks and mahogany. There's multiple writing desks where one might pen wonderful poetry while looking out at the open bay windows of the Westwatch Sea. It's a very extravagant room with many a fern and greenery, in addition to the wooden accoutrement.
We could have been staying here the whole time. I mean, I don't think we could have afforded it, but it was here. And instead we were at the other place.
Yeah. We couldn't afford it at the time.
You kept this from me.
I mean,
I
it was
won't
mostly
forget
because
that.
you were kind of a bitch to me, and so I took you to a place that I said was nice, and then it wasn't nice. It was like a practical joke. I apologize for my immaturity.
All right.
On that note, I don't know if this is the appropriate time for this, but I think that given as we'd been adventuring with each other for a while, it's time for me to be a bit honest about some things that I may have been keeping from you that may affect us in the future.
Are you convict? Are you on the run?
are you
I
being human trafficked?
am on the run. I am not a fugitive of the law. Long story short, I think, given as we all know about Bronwyn's background now, I was filled in on the details of that conversation. It probably goes without saying, or maybe you may have guessed that I am also not completely human. These things, and I say sort of gesturing to my antlers.
I'm nodding.
I mean, none of us are really completely human, really, but that's besides the point. Anyway,
I don't think any of us are human, actually.
Yeah, I don't think any of us.
no. So my parents made a deal back in the day with some entity. I don't really know the details because they were struggling to have a child. And then a few days later, little baby me came along. And everything was fine until I turned 16. And then, this happened, I say, sort of gesturing at my antlers.
A young
And
man goes through many changes at that age.
it's a difficult time for many people. But the townsfolk didn't like sort of what I was or what I looked like, and they burned down my parents' farm and took down my parents and chased me out, and so I'm a little bit on the run. And that's haunting in its own right. But I wanted to let you know that part of the reason I was stricken with paralysis back up on the mountain is because I was contacted by what I can only assume was that entity who sort of might want to collect on their end of the bargain. What that was, I'm not sure. But it says it knows where I am, and we will be reunited soon.
This is your dad?
Well, my dad is dead. At least the man I thought was my father, but I'm not sure if I was actually his child or what the situation was. But it might be pretty bad. And I just
As a
want
Fae,
forthcoming.
do I recognize this situation?
Particularly, you're aware of creatures and beings from your realm that have a fancy for messing with the affairs of mortals. But that could be any number of things. Like the list is pages long.
Yeah, that's some classic Fae bullshit right there.
Yeah, that's sort of what I had thought. Anyway, given as we'd been adventuring with each other for a while, I figured I owed you some honesty. And I know I'm not always the easiest person to get along with, and I might play a practical joke here or there. But I wanted to say that, I understand if you don't want to travel with me anymore.
Is this thing gonna come and try to kill all of us, or just you?
I don't know. And I don't even know if it wants to kill me or enslave me or take me back to wherever it came from, or I don't really know, but it's coming after me.
Well, if it's some kind of Fae nonsense and it comes here and it's not supposed to be here, it could be coming through the same way that all those monsties are, potentially.
That's a possibility.
Which unfortunately means we should probably keep you.
Listen, I'll take it easy on the practical jokes in the future.
That would be great.
Yeah, you're good, man.
I'm sipping a little complimentary hot chocolate. While you're on the conversation.
I do have that.
That's just kind of the nature of life, man. Like, we all have regrets. Yours is just being born.
You said it, not me.
I'm curious to see this thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it could be pretty bad, but I'm glad at least two of you sort of want to keep me around from the sound of things, and Bronwyn will just have to agree to disagree.
I said you could stick around because you're probably a lead in whatever this
feel like you
is.
want me here.
I'm still mad that we didn't get to stay here.
Okay.
And
well,
also,
I hope in time you will also mature and learn to let it go.
Come on, man. You're not going to make friends that way. Hey, Randy.
Yeah.
Now that we know the deal of pretty much all of us, what's your deal?
Oh, yeah, I'm high all the time. I'm usually not sober.
So Lyra said that all of us are somehow tied to this nonsense. and I would like to get this nonsense over with so I can go home. We figured out potentially me and Willem. Dunk, I honestly don't know. But
was
Randy, I
fighting
feel
some
like you're
things
harder
one
to
day.
figure out than Dunk. You wait, what?
I was just fighting. I was running away from these monsters one day, and I fell into some weird shit.
Wait,
And now
separate
every time
from
I get really angry, I like explode in energy, and I don't know what's up with that.
well, there we go.
You what?
I
Has
was
he
running.
Also
not
sounds
raged?
like
Have we
some-
not noticed this by now?
It's happened a few
when I
times.
rage-
Nobody's
Yeah.
acknowledged it.
Solid.
We were
Yeah.
busy. Okay, well, that sounds like some typical Faye nonsense. Randy.
No, I'll be honest. I don't remember too much from like beyond like I don't know yesterday. Really, I don't know. I know I grew up with my parents. I know. I don't know. I think I had a normal life for a while, but that's all kind of gone now. I don't know.
Amen
I
to
just try to
that.
live every day like it's my last, just try to take everything in the moment. There's a I don't know. I got weird dreams sometimes. I'm a pretty normal guy.
Could that have anything to do with the copious amounts of psychedelics?
It could. I do. There's one. I don't know. There's a reoccurring person who I can't really get out of my head, but I don't know. She's kind of faceless. I try not to.
What
think
does the
about it
rest
too
of her
much.
body look like? Is she hot?
Well, she's like 14, so
Oh. Say, no.
no.
What color hair does she have? Is she tall?
She's
Is she like a 3,000-year-old dragon in a 14-year-old's body? Or...
Does she just have
I
like
don't
an
know.
ageless presence?
I don't. I try not to think about it, and I kind of take a drag of whatever I'm smoking.
Insight check. Is
Blonde hair,
Is Randy hiding a deep, dark secret?
almost white.
I think you might be traumatizing our friend Randall.
I'm just trying to figure out what's going on.
He's
Um,
obviously not having a great time. Not that any of us are, but
DM, would white hair be something that I would associate with like the winter court?
I mean, you might, but I can't. I got nothing else on that. Like,
Can
you might
I- can
personally.
I-
You tell me.
Can I do a check to see if a creepy, powerful 14-year-old white-haired girl that shows up in dreams is something that I might recognize?
how specific?
Sure. Roll a history check.
God, I haven't rolled above a 10. That's a solid 9.
No clue whatsoever.
I really think it like definitely jogs something,
Yeah,
but
you're
I
like doing
cannot
like the
place
serial
it.
killer drawing lines on a board. Ken Jeong from Community. It's a palomino. Just like drawing conclusions where none exist.
Yeah, like I
And
said,
I have a little journal that I'm scribbling furiously in.
I try not to think about my past too much. I think it's just better to take every day in stride to see what the future has to bring, man.
Even if it's important.
What is importance,
But isn't today
I mean,
tomorrow's future? Or tomorrow's
Mira
past?
said that we're here for a reason and I want to figure it out so I can go home.
I'm sure the answer will present itself eventually.
I'm impatient.
Oh, also, yesterday, before we were like coming in here, we all heard something about the chief was his name Beauregard falling down some stairs.
Oh my
I don't remember.
No.
Bertram.
Bertram.
Excuse me.
We got there eventually.
Beauregard was a cousin of mine. I had overheard that Bertram has not been the same since something called Redwyne came to town. Now, I do not know if, that is code for he's an alcoholic.
Sounds like a
Or-
name.
If it's somebody's name. Yes.
Can I history check for this name?
You don't know who they are.
You know who might
I
know?
was like, stop making checks.
You know who might know something about this Redwyne individual is Talia at the bar. Or we could go into town and fuck around and find out.
I mean, we could also do both.
Or
You,
we
as I
could do
recall, have a definitely great track record with talking to women that don't know you, so I think it'd be kind of funny if you attempted to find this out.
Certainly. I also don't know if we care. Is the plan to stay in Westwatch or what?
Well, no, we need to go. So we need to figure out. So all of these creatures are being summoned, but Erica might have something to do with that.
Erica, who was eaten by the creature?
Just her arm was eaten,
Just
for
her
sure.
arm.
Yeah.
Just the arm. We're sure about that.
We are not.
Yeah, because we didn't find the rest of her in there.
Was there a puddle of digested bits? That
There
could be-
was a driver's license from Rhode Island.
Excuse me?
Not canonical.
It's in the notes.
No, that was in the notes. Yeah. That happened.
All
If it's
right.
in the notes, it's canon. Also, Lyra misses her wife.
I don't know who that is.
Yes, you do.
That's why we came here. Even I know that. Randy.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I haven't been super paying attention to like Bronwyn's whole thing because she was not being very forthcoming with us about information. I remember El Rey, and I remember. Oh wait, Lyra. She's the witch lady, right, in the mountains.
Yeah, that we just came back from talking to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, being traumatized and confronted with a menacing presence who was hunting me down kind of makes it hard with on the short-term memory a little bit. Anyway,
I mean,
do we
I've
care
also
about-
got issues. I just don't address them at all.
That's healthy. Should
I think so, yeah.
we deal with Chief Bertram or what's the plan?
I mean, we could go stop by and say
Yeah.
hi and try and figure out if he has anything to do with all this nonsense.
Yeah, we could, and maybe, and I do not know this for a fact, but perhaps Randy has some herbs or a spell or something that might be able to heal him as he is currently quite unwell.
Yeah, it could be.
Like many of our elderly friends, he was seriously injured after taking a tumble down the stairs.
Do you
Hmm.
have a lot of elderly friends?
I've known an elderly or two.
All
Old
right.
people are awesome, man. I want to be an old person.
I mean, everyone from where I'm from is super old, but they don't seem. So.
Yeah, I mean, my mom was super old. She was all wrinkly, and she looked honestly like she had one foot in the grave, and she was 43. That's super old.
Times are hard these days.
I'm
Life
50.
was hard for a 16-year-old.
So let's go see if we can get in Chief Bertram's house.
And, I think we stay the night here, and then in the morning, just to, we paid 5 gold for this room, might as well use it.
Oh yes, and on the way out, I will try to speak with Talia and inquire about Redwyne.
Yeah. And then tomorrow we'll head back into the mountains to look for Erica.
Sounds good.
Because, I mean, if she wasn't dead already, we weren't gonna she's missing an arm.
Yeah,
If we found her yesterday or today, and she wasn't getting help, she would have been dead. So, another day is not gonna kill her. you know?
No, I've seen people live without arms for decades.
Yeah, but like if they're not
What, they're
helped immediately, they'll
bleeding?
just all the blood will come out. And that's bad usually.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right.
hmm
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, it's like when we fought that big thing and we were both just like bleeding everywhere and it was really gross.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't bleeding.
You were not.
No.
Mm-mm.
Where are we
In
going?
an emotional sense.
If I had to like quantify how badly I was hurt on a scale of 1 to 21, I think at the end I was sitting at like a 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm
So you
going
mean
to mosey out of the room and go try to speak with Talia. Or whoever's
Yeah,
up.
we'll meet you out. We'll meet you out front.
All right. So Willem, you mosey on out of the room and make your way back into kind of the main foyer of Beaumont's Rest. And you find Talia kind of, again, just drifting between the different patrons that are occupying the main central hall. And then she inevitably kind of glides back toward the main desk or front desk of the area. And
Is she busy?
Is she busy?
Yeah.
No, she seems to be like interacting with folks and just kind of doing the role of an innkeeper, but she's not, doesn't seem like overwhelmed by any means.
Oh. Yeah, how hot is she?
Oh yes, great
Oh,
question. She's a solid 7. I think the important thing to remember. What's that?
Out of 10 or out of 20?
Out of 20. The important thing to remember here, now that you're kind of getting a good look at her, kind of up close and personal, is that Talia is, a woman in her late 50s. She has these kind of like very long, wavy blonde hair, and just starting to show like a few wisps of gray. She's very deep set blue eyes, and they twinkle with mirth and intelligence. And she has a lot of laugh lines. Like clearly, she's been doing this for a very long time.
Got a great personality.
Yeah, she's been doing this for a very long time. She's wearing very practical clothing. She kind of has this very long green cloak over a simple linen blouse. Like, she's an innkeeper. She's trying to make the most of the brief amount of time that she has with people and making sure that she leaves a good impression on them. And additionally, around her neck, she has this very nice pendant, made of a dark stone. And as the sun is starting to kind of set in the Westwatch sky, it kind of glitters off of the stone. But now that you're kind of up close and personal, you're also very well aware that for someone her age, she moves quite gracefully around the inn and kind of jumps from table to table. And then as she notes you standing at the table, sways over and greets you. Says, good to see you again. I apologize. I didn't catch your name the first time. What is it?
Oh, I'm so sorry about that, ma'am. Name's Willem.
Willem, it's a pleasure. Has your stay been satisfactory?
Wonderful. Thank you so much. The complimentary hot chocolate was a very nice touch.
Oh, it's our pleasure and just part of what we do here at Beaumont's Rest. Is there something I can help you with?
Forgive me if this is a bit indelicate, but I was hoping to ask you about some chatter I heard when we were walking through town towards Beaumont's Rest.
You're trying to tempt the innkeeper with rumors about town, is that right?
Well, I don't know if I'm so much as trying to tempt you as I am to, well, perhaps tempt you to give me some information.
Well, what are you looking for this fine afternoon?
I heard about Chief Beaumont.
Beaumont. Well, that would be my own name.
My mistake. I'm so sorry. Chief, not Beauregard.
Bertram.
That's him.
Yes,
That's him.
Chief Bertram. Yes, one of Westwatch's finest.
I
Such
heard
a
he's
shame
not
about his terrible fall.
Yeah, I heard he's not doing so well lately.
Well, it was just last night. We have no way of knowing. I understand he's bedridden, but I'm sure he'll make a quick recovery. Those Bertrams always do. I've lived in Westwatches since his grandmother was serving as our chief.
Yeah, well, that's quite lovely. And a friend of ours actually happens to have a bit of healing magic, and we were thinking we might stop by the chief's house and see if there's anything we could do for him. Always good to make a positive impression on the leaders of any sort of settlement or
Sure,
town.
sure. No, I mean it's very kind of you, and you could certainly attempt to stop by town hall, but I'm not sure they'd be taking visitors right now.
Hmm.
You know, can't be too careful these days, of course. I imagine that he would have the finest resources in all of the continent available to him. I even understand that Trowood will be sending a delegation of its healers to take a look at the man.
Ah,
I can't imagine that
Hmm.
they would be needing your services, but I suppose it could never hurt to offer, though I doubt you'd get an audience.
we could inquire. I mean, we're here now, and I'm not sure how of the essence time is, but there was something else I wanted to inquire about. I heard muttering that Chief Bertram has not been the same since an individual named, and I lean in close and I say, Redwyne has come to town. What could
Lord
you tell me?
Redwyne, of course. I mean, it's certainly been some time since Chief Bertram's been himself, but so does everyone as they start to age, wouldn't you say? Um, I think he's just showing a bit of age. Redwyne's been phenomenal for the community here, and I wouldn't want to sully his name at all.
What could you tell me about Lord Redwyne, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, he heads up the Traders Guild here. I'm sure you've seen the infrastructure they're putting up in town. That the Great Merchants Guild they're building just around the corner.
Oh yes, remarkable.
Yeah, well,
I had no idea
that's
that he was the head of the guild.
yeah, that's Redwyne Trading Company. It's a remarkable piece of architecture that they're adding to the city. Nearly, he's with all the terrible things that have been happening around the world. He's brought a great deal of comfort and prosperity to the city with the deals he's brokered and the money he's brought into the city. Galen Redwyne is a treasure, not to be worried about.
That's very helpful. Thank you. And you'd say as a person he's, well respected in the community, friendly, kind, all of these
Uh,
things.
Personally, I haven't met him myself, but from everything I've heard, he's a wonderful man. I mean, I'm sure you could ask any of the patrons here; they've had dealings with him. Um, Nothing but good things to say about him.
All right. Thank you, Miss Talia. You've been very helpful, and I do believe we
Wait,
will be staying at your establishment for another evening.
Oh, my pleasure. That's wonderful to hear.
And I slide 5 gold coins across the bar top.
Thank you very kindly, young man. If you'll be needing anything at all, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Thank you kindly. And I am going to flip with my thumb a gold coin towards Talia and say, "For your troubles."
Very kind of you, sir. Thank you so much. And please give my best wishes to you and your traveling companions.
Will do. Thank you kindly. And I head outside.
so
Hey guys.
did you find out what Bertram's beef is with that Redwyne dude? Your
Um,
accent is spreading.
after talking to Miss Talia, it sounds like it could be that Chief Bertram is just getting a little bit old and maybe he doesn't have a problem with Redwyne. Redwyne's a well respected member of the community, from what I hear.
But you didn't ask about like any reason why he would be like messed up since that guy's there?
I mean, he's getting older. That sounds like a satisfactory explanation to me. Sometimes when people hit their 40s, they start to lose their minds a little bit.
The 40s?
When they get old.
That's not 40s.
It was for my mom.
Yeah, I'm in my 50s and I feel fine.
Well, you're just built different, ain't you?
I'm an indeterminate age.
Also built different.
How
I'm
old
a-
are you, Dunk?
Like 30s.
I'm an
don't-
18-year-old boy.
I don't really know.
Good God. Weren't you in school? Oh yeah, they burned down your house.
Yeah, that's why. Also, I was too busy working on the farm before that to go to school. Anyways, that's what I found out. And also, I paid for another day of stay at the inn out of my own personal funds as an
Oh,
apology.
we might not be here for another day at the inn.
I thought you wanted to stay here for a while, and who knows? It's
Well,
already.
we paid for this night, but tomorrow we're going back into the woods.
well, maybe we'll make it back, or maybe we'll poke around with Bertram, and if Erica's alive, she could wait some more, right?
We'll see what
I
happens. Let's
don't
go.
particularly care all that much if we find her or not.
What? You're
That's a
still- you
fucked up
have
thing to
what?
say, dude.
She was not kind to me, so.
Yeah, that's because you stalked her.
Well, she was not kind to me first, which necessitated my close following.
That's so
That-
messed up.
She
My
was
brother.
trafficking contraband, or what I believe to be contraband. And if there's
That's
one
none of your
thing
business.
well
Except
established,
now it is our business. But it's none of your business then.
we don't condone trafficking of any kind.
That's right. No trafficking.
Holy shit.
No.
I'm 98% sure I was not trafficked.
98% is not 100%.
That 2% is technically, I guess it could kind of be somewhat of a gray area.
Chris, what day of the week is it?
It's a Wednesday.
Cool.
I shouldn't say Wednesday. It's the middle of the week because I haven't named the
No.
fantasy days of the week here.
No. Just keep it as Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday.
'Cause I think you specifically told me that the stealing mission is on Friday.
Yeah, that's true. I did do that.
From's Day.
Well,
Yes.
there's Wednesday, and then it's Blurm's Day, and then there's Friday.
Yeah.
Well, we can't do the stealing mission on Friday because Friday I'm in love.
You're what?
That's a
Thank you.
reference.
I will say the stealing mission is actually on Saturday, so that you have
Okay.
ample time to get back.
Yes, we got time. We got a little note that says
Yeah. Schedule change. And
Do I
definitely
know
not because I just
anything
pulled a day
stealing
out of the sky. Yes, you know about the stealing mission.
Yeah, I've informed everybody that I'm going on a stealing mission for sure.
Right. Oh yeah. That happened at the Crack Flagon.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So let's stop by Chief Bertram.
Bortram.
Bertram, that's right. That's just my
Based on my background, I do have the knowledge of how bureaucracies function that gets me access to records and inner workings of any noble court or government I encounter. So I know who to go to to get an entry.
On the way
And
over,
it's-
I'd like to have a short conversation with Willem.
Yeah.
I sidle on up to you and I go, so you're when you're farm, so do you have like a thing about fire now, or?
Not that I've noticed. I mean, I wasn't in the building when it got burned down.
Well, sure, but I'm sure seeing the burnt corpses of your parents was.
I didn't see it.
deal.
I didn't see it. So I approached, and I was toiling in the fields as I was wont to do.
Yeah,
and
man.
I approached my farmhouse and saw that it was aflame, and I did hear the screams of my parents. And there was what you would call the classic angry mob, torches and pitchforks coming at me, and I did grab the horse that I had been, plowing the fields with, and got up and got out of there as fast as I could. Rode the horse to exhaustion. It did die. I had to eat it in the woods.
Oh my
and,
god.
Just been wandering ever since until I found my way to Trowood.
So, not if you're fine with fire.
As far as I
How
know,
are you with mobs?
haven't ran into one again, but I don't think I'd have a positive reaction.
That's great, man. That's really fortunate. All right.
Are
Well,
you
just let me know if you got a thing.
anticipating lots of fire or mobs?
No, it's just good to be like prepared for those things,
Oh,
just-
you want to be aware of my triggers?
Yes,
All right, that's very conscientious of you.
absolutely, man. And you know what? If there is any fire, I generally, I'm not a huge fan of it either. It does kill people.
Also, it provides warmth.
Not if you get too close, then
Oh, then it singes. That's correct.
you'll
All
die.
things in moderation, right? I say,
That's so
looking
true,
at your-
man. Yeah,
looking
absolutely.
at your copious pouch of drugs.
Absolutely. I take a swig out of an unknown flask.
Righteous.
Yeah. I gave him a little pat on the back and continue walking.
From the front where me and Dunk were walking, I just elbowed Dunk and I'm like, yeesh.
So you
gonna
all are
reach
headed
back
to the
and,
town hall.
grab,
Oh, sorry.
reach my hand out to ask if I can have a sippy sip.
Yo, sippy sip.
Uh-oh.
Mm.
We lost him.
Wait, what? Sorry.
He wants a suckle of your flask.
A sippy.
Oh yeah, I totally
What
give
is
it to
this?
him. Yeah, man, suckle away.
Do you know what you're drinking?
It's. I mean, part of it's three things.
Oh, well. If it's three things, then it can't be bad.
Yeah, hand him the flask.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
gonna.
I love
take
the
a
logic between these two.
sip and hand it back.
Great. You all are going to the town hall.
I'm going to the person that's going to get us an inn with Bertram, which I would know because of my background.
So you head towards the town hall of Westwatch, which actually, in comparison to the other buildings of the city, is rather low key and subdued in comparison to like the very fine Beaumont's Rest that you just left behind, the under construction, what you now know to be Redwyne Trading Company. It's actually just kind of a simple brick and mortar building nestled between some of the shops just off of the main thoroughfare. And you enter the town hall and see a very spacious and well lit chamber, very high ceilings and large windows at the back, which overlook the water on a cliff face, just kind of so if the Beaumont's Rest is kind of facing out over the water, looking toward Trowood, the main town hall of the city sits kind of catty corner to it, looking out across the opposite cliff face and more towards the open ocean. The walls on the either left and right of you are adorned with paintings depicting different places around the town. There's many wildflower fields, which you became accustomed to as you ventured into the city on foot. And there are many comfortable chairs and benches kind of arranged in front of a large oak desk at the front of the room, which is circular in nature. And at the center is a rather gruff-looking dwarf. He's in his, kind of you get the sense he's middle-aged, just graying hair, and a tired look in his eyes. And he's just kind of sitting there, kind of milling about over some paper and quill, and pays you no attention as you enter the room.
Grip
Rip
it
it
and
and rip it, baby!
Rip it and rip it, baby.
Does he seem like the person that will be the most persuadable to let us in to hang out with Bert?
At the moment, he's the only person you see.
All right. I will go on up to him. And I'm assuming I have a nice little crest of Elray's.
You do. You have a nice badge of Elray, yes.
I will set it down on the desk and I will say, I'm here to speak with Chief Bertram about recent security concerns in what was the place that we're from?
Trowood.
Yes. Bronwyn said that, but Stephanie didn't.
The individual does not lift his eyes from the papers that he's working on. He just kind of like pauses for just a moment, acknowledges Elray's crest, and keeps writing. Chief Bertram is unavailable for meeting at this time. I'm sure you no doubt heard of his physical altercation down the stairs, and he'll be taking the day to rest.
Yeah, but what if he wasn't? No, I don't say that. Do I have that can help me?
I'm gonna step up, unless you have something to say.
You know what? I want to see what you do. You can interrupt.
Yeah. I step up. I look this dwarf in the eyes, which is me doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, I'm the greatest healer in all of Yusan. So I could probably get him out of bed like now if you let me in.
I'll have you make a deception check.
Can I
get
help
that as
him?
deception.
I would also like to assist.
Ooh, we'll see how this goes. I got a 19.
I don't need to help you.
Okay, so the dwarf is kind of sitting there, jotting along, and you refer to yourself as the greatest healer, and he kind of pauses for a moment and looks up at you, and you note that he has very tired eyes, like he's been up all night, and he goes, "You're from Trowood. You're the healer from Trowood, then."
I think for a second, yes.
It's yes, of course. Well, then we're very glad you've been able to come on such short notice. Did you sail over today? You must have already been on your way.
We
It's
switched horses
Oh, I
when they
was just in
collapsed.
town.
already in town. Wow, what a fine fortune that they were able to notify you of Chief Bertram's needs.
Yeah, we heard about it.
Yes, very well, of course. Please, and he looks very flustered, like he's a bit confused, but he's going to take you at your word. And he kind of closes up a piece of paper, like kind of stacks the papers on top of one another, and you know, and tucks them onto a drawer. And says, "Please, follow me to Chief Bertram's quarters." Um,
Yeah, man.
and what?
I sort of
said-
sidle up
walking.
to Dunk and Bronwyn, and I'm like, wouldn't it be funny, not in a literal sense, but in like a cosmic sense, if he wound up killing him?
Put that out there.
As you walk down the hall, it feels like a very almost maze-like. There's many hallways leading off in many different directions. You're actually kind of surprised at the number of buildings that you've been in Westwatch that seem larger on the inside than they are on the outside, as this looked like a very unassuming government building. After some time, the dwarf kind of arrives at a set of double teak doors with a heavy padlock on them. He kind of slips his necklace, and he kind of gets in very close to the padlock. Click, click, and unlocks the doors. He goes, I must warn you, he's not well. I wish you all be conscious of your demeanor around the chief and understand that he got quite a blow on his head when he fell down the stairs. So do be mindful of your reactions and anything you say to the chief." And he kind of steps aside and kind of leaves the door to you.
Go in.
Yeah, I'm gonna lead for the first time fucking ever.
Oh wait, I can't hear you guys anymore.
Oh no.
Pop, pop,
We can hear you. One,
pop, pop.
my wife. Guys, let's all just make mouths at Chris and make no noise and make him think.
That's what I do to my parents.
I do that to my dad also.
We will take a short break. Can you guys hear me?
You know, for like
Honestly,
2 seconds, the wreck felt great before your joints popped
oh
out.
yeah, I would love one. Honestly,
Bring that up with Laura.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I guess for several reasons.
We're back. I can hear everybody. Thank you. So you enter the room that has been kind of queued up for you by the dwarven gentleman in the town hall. And as you enter, you find this very nice, ornate living space. It's rather small. Its impression that gives off to you is like pretty small for the leader of the town.
It's the impression.
And you see a hand. What?
What?
Go on. I was thinking.
You see a handful of people inside. It's a very dimly lit room. There's only one small lantern on a nearby table that casts a flickering glow across the room. You get this, like, as you enter the room, there's this very heavy scent of herbs and ointments that have been used as potential treatments. And you see a man lying in their bed with their eyes closed. You notice the man's chest kind of rises and falls with shallow breaths as he appears to be in a state of unconsciousness, and that his skin is quite gaunt and pale, and he has dark circles underneath his eyes. And there are two people in the room wearing kind of white and brown robes that are attending to them, including one who's applying some canvas, not canvas, but
Compresses.
whatever the
God.
nope, the texture of gauze, whatever gauze is made of,
Canvas.
applying
Gauze.
new. Is it canvas?
No.
Whatever medieval gauze is being applied to the head of the individual laying in bed, who you presume to be Chief Bertram, and their face is quite grim. And another, the individual on the opposite side of the bed, kind of rushes up to you and says, "Ah, pardon me, may I help you?" He sounds very tired, but polite nonetheless. Chief Bertram is very ill and should not be disturbed.
Yeah. So I'm the healer from Trowood. I guess you know
Oh.
that I'm coming. I would like to.
I mean, we only just summoned for you, but sure.
Yes.
If Barnabas let you in, then I'm sure that's fine.
Well, we heard about it, so we're here now. These are my compatriots. I'd like to perhaps talk to the patient, if possible.
I mean, he hasn't been conscious in some time, but you could certainly try
Yeah, for sure,
if you
man.
feel that it's best.
Yeah.
Yes. And he kind of steps out of the way for you to venture up.
I do so, and I kind of approach the foot of the bed and get and go around to the right side and get kind of close to him, and I go, "How you doing, champ?"
You get no response.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of like wave my hands around, and I'm gonna cast Detect Poison and Disease, which just makes me so I can sense presence of and location of poisonous creatures, and diseases within 30 feet of me, and I can identify what the kind of poison or disease.
You don't read anything from this spell.
Okay. I'd like to cast Detect Magic next.
Okay. And read me the description of Detect Magic.
For the
Oh, that's like,
duration,
no, it's good.
you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. I just see a faint aura, and I learn the school of magic, if any.
Okay, just 1 second. Okay, so you do get the sense of a very faint aura surrounding Chief Bertram. Kind of, he seems to, as you close your eyes and you cast the spell and you open them up, and you get this kind of like white glow that seems to ethereally fly off of Chief Bertram. And you get the sense upon close inspection that there's the sense of some enchantment that's going on.
Can I? Oh, I guess that is the School of Magic's enchantment. Okay.
Indeed.
Doc, what do you find?
This guy's enchanted. Were you
Beg
aware
your
of
pardon?
this? I talked to the other guys. Were you guys aware that this guy's enchanted?
Enchanted.
Yeah, Bertram.
Enchanted. By what? What leads you to believe this?
Well, I use my vast skill as a healer to determine this.
And you're able to tell who he's enchanted by, or what enchantments are upon him?
Unfortunately, that is not part of my expertise. I am not a clairvoyant.
It would explain quite a bit.
So, has he been in contact with any kind of enchanting person recently?
He's been in contact with hundreds, if not thousands of people. He is the chief of this city.
And when did he fall down the stairs?
It was just last night.
Did
But he
anything?
has been acting strange for the past few months.
Okay.
Seems to be forgetful and absent-minded at times.
Interesting.
Old is he? Is he old?
He's very old. When asking that question, you actually look down and get a good look at the individual who rests in bed. And in addition to looking quite sunken and sallow, you note that he has a very large graying beard and kind of handlebar mustache, which extends out from underneath his nose.
Weird.
I'm getting big, sick Theoden energy from this man.
Yes, he
How
does
oddly-
very much resemble a sick Theoden from the scroll Lord of the Rings, and exudes just old people energy for sure. There's an odor, definitely.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Can I try to
He's-
send?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna try to cast a message just to see if it does anything, and I'm just
Okay.
gonna send him. Chief Bertram, wake up. I don't know if it's gonna do anything.
Do they have to make any saves or anything, or do they
No,
just?
I'm just casting a message.
It just
doesn't
just gets
say that
sent.
he doesn't hear it if he's unconscious. Wait.
What are you all doing in my room?
Oh,
What's
shit,
what's
what?
happening? Sorry, I must
yeah.
have overslept. It's such a. I'm very sorry. What I was just out for a lovely evening stroll. What are you all doing in my room?
You've taken a nap,
Who are all you?
sir.
Oh goodness, again.
Again.
Yes, he's fallen quite a bit lately. This is about well, this is the 5th time in the last 2 weeks.
It's my professional doctor recommendation that he.
Doctor, I don't need any doctors. I told you, and he kind of looks over at the two individuals and he goes, I don't need any doctors. And he throws off the covers and he's got kind of saggy old man boobs.
Oh no.
And he just kind of stands up and goes, I'm perfectly capable of running this town without any of you.
Are they pierced?
I cast calm emotions on him.
They have to make a wisdom saving throw, right?
Yes, I think. A charisma saving throw.
Doesn't matter. But oh goodness, I'm so sorry. Was I yelling again? It's so hard to keep track these days. Samwell Bertram at your service. And he kind of sticks his hand out.
Yeah, it's Randy.
You take his hand, it's very wet and clammy. And he says, yes, Randall, a great pleasure to meet you. Dwandle, I'm very grateful for your service to the town of Westwatch, and it is hereby my pleasure to award you Barnabas, and the dwarf comes running in. Oh, good sir, it's a pleasure to see you up and moving. Yes, award this man key to the city. Dwandle, great man here, very good man.
Randy.
Randall,
I can take Randall.
what was that? Randall gets a key to. Just give him a key. I'm sure whatever key you give him, it'll be fine. Barnabas, sir, what key? Any key, Barnabas, please, at haste. And Barnabas kind of ushers quickly out of the room. Sorry, what were we talking about?
Sir, what would you describe your relationship with Lord Redwyne?
Lord Redwyne.
Yeah, what's he like, man?
He is a gift to the city and has done tremendous things. And we are very, very, very grateful to have Lord Redwyne here in Westwatch.
Do you talk to him often? You guys get dinner?
Oh, well, he's on the council, so of course we talk very frequently. In fact, I'm sure I'm late for a council meeting. Yes, Barnabas.
Hey, can
Barnabas?
I join you on that council meeting? Just to, look after your health.
Randall. I'm sure you're a very big man in, where is it that you're from? I'm sure you're a very big man in Westwatch, where you're from. But here in Westwatch, we do things very differently. Only council members are allowed on the council. And when I make my addresses to the town, you will know. So we thank you. I thank you. He sticks out his hand once again. And Barnabas, the dwarf who you have known quite well at this point, comes barging in kind of... and hands you a key. Yes, there is your key, Dwandle, and we are so very grateful for your time and efforts here in, what was it that he was doing? Nursing me back to health. Yes, thank you. Nursing me back to health.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dwandle.
Before he leaves, I'm going to kind of sneakily cast protection from evil and good on him.
Ooh.
Just in case.
What does this do?
A willing creature that I touch. I guess I can't really do it secretly then, but he's protected against aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. Just in case the person's one of those things.
You kind of lightly tap him on the back, and he goes, "Thank you, Barnabas. We must away to my chambers, so that I may get dressed." Sir, we are in your chambers. Right. All of you should leave, so that I may get dressed.
Sir, I have a couple of questions, and I hold up my little emblem or whatever the hell it is again.
He gets really close and he lowers his glasses.
I was sent by Trollwood.
Trollwood, yes, I know them. What can I do for you?
I'm helping investigate a series of attacks by strange creatures. Do you know anything?
That's the thieving of the sheep. Listen, I sent out Ellie, Lyra. I sent Lyra to go check that out. You should talk to Lyra. In fact, I'm waiting on a report from Lyra. Barnabas, make sure that you write up Lyra for delayed reports.
No, she got... No, okay, so it'll be to you. You'll be getting it in the morning. We talked to her, but do you have any other information about the attacks that you've been seeing, like when they started, where they're happening? Have any happened in the city?
Things have been happening for months. People come, they disappear. The creatures, they come, they disappear. The sheep, they're gone, the sheep are gone. And people are leaving. It's the others. The others, those people that decided to leave Westwatch because they said the Bertram family wasn't fit to lead Westwatch. Well, then they decided that they were going to go live somewhere else. It's them. They're stealing the livestock. I'm going to catch them. Well, Laura's going to catch them, and Laura will catch them, report them to me, and I'll send the city watch, and they're going to... Well, we're gonna catch those others, and we'll build the walls around Westwatch so tall they'll never be able to get back and get those livestock, crops, anything. Westwatch will be a fortress, safest place in Yusan.
That's a great plan, sir.
Yes, sir. Walls never fail. Thank you, young man. That's very kind of you to say. Is there something else that I can help you with?
I'm gonna turn to one of like the people that were hanging out with him during this time, and I'm going,
Yes, the healer is kind of sitting there like this.
yeah, I'm gonna just kind of go, just kind of keep like spotter's position around him
You
at all
mustn't
times.
tell anyone about what you see here.
I'll probably forget about it immediately, so you're good.
Fair enough. We are grateful for anything you did to bring him back to, well, to what he's been like.
You bet.
So thank you.
Yeah, that's
Thank
what
you.
I do. Greatest healer, this guy. Thanks for this key.
Oh, Barnabas is still kind of. Yeah, that's a goblin key. It'll open any door you need. Maybe once or twice.
Cool. Nice.
Well, should we?
All of you
reconvene
should
outside?
leave my room post haste.
Yeah, no, I'm already doing it.
Post haste.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Yes, it's very kind to meet you, young man. Thank you.
All
You
right,
thought you were a boy.
whatever, I guess.
And Dwandle, before you go, Dwandle. You're the best chef I've ever met. Thank you for everything you've done.
Yeah,
Bye-bye now.
You bet, man.
And Barnabas is kind of like ushering you out of the room, and he goes, I'll echo everyone's sentiments in there. If you could keep what you saw to yourself and don't tell Blunt, we'd be most appreciative.
I don't like that guy.
Tell who what?
Well said, young man. Well said. He kind of slams the door shuts behind you.
Okay, let's go outside so we can talk shit.
You all are going where?
Outside to talk shit.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
going outside. Let's go find a bar. Let's go find a bar.
Should we maybe
You
go to
make
the
it-
mountains, Erica?
You
All
don't want
that?
to go see Erica. We'll do that tomorrow because it's probably evening now, right?
The sun is setting.
We've only been up for a few hours, but whatever.
Well, you
No,
went
but
to bed in the morning,
Yeah, we did.
and you woke up in late afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And
we'll
then,
have
yeah.
a couple drinks,
We're up on that
make us
together.
nice and sleepy, get up early in the morning, go to the mountains, etc., etc. Bob your uncle.
I think we should talk to this Redwyne guy.
All right.
And it's not like me to want to do something.
I know you're on a roll, dude. So
Which makes
I'm
me feel like
you
we
to
should
either
really
way.
do it.
You've got so much agency today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you getting bad
Either way,
magical
baby.
vibes in there? Just curious. Or did you think he was just like an insane, sick old man?
No, that dude's enchanted by something.
Can you
all I
tell if it's a good enchantment or a bad enchantment?
White.
Is that a good enchantment or a bad enchantment?
I would assume bad. But
He woke up when I sent him a message. I don't know if that means something.
To red wine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You all are headed to the Redwyne Trading Company.
oh boy, it's a trading company. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We're about to
You
face
exit.
capitalism.
You are going to face capitalism for sure.
Defeat.
Lost.
I've been listening to an engineering disasters podcast, so I know that capitalism is bad.
Very true. So you all exit the town hall, and you make your way back in the direction of Beaumont's Rest, where you've been kind of finding the folks who are working in the construction line of work, have been headed to as you make your way and have been spending time in Westwatch. And it's not long before you find yourself kind of staring up at the Redwyne Trading Company, which is a very large building that is beginning, especially in its even in its late stage construction, stands out very differently from the other buildings of Westwatch. It's multiple stories made of stone, wood, and a lot of metal as well, which is unusual and uncharacteristic for the buildings that have been more kind of carved out of the cliff face or built with stone that's been quarried from the surrounding mountains. And as you get up close and personal with the construction, you find that it's just bustling with activity. There are workers milling about, carrying bits of lumber, laying brick and mortar outside, and the sound of hammering and sawing can be heard even from the outside where you all stand. There are the occasional shouts of workers that can be heard over the noise and the nailing and the hammering. But you very quickly arrive at the front entrance, which is a large double door made of thick wood with the initials RW carved into the front. And there's like a kind of small posted piece of parchment over the door that kind of covers a bit of the R that says, "Under construction, keep out."
Hmm.
Should we listen?
Well, I can't read,
Why are we here?
so
Sign can't stop me because I
I'm gonna
can't
open the door.
read. I'm
So,
just standing there
you
gloating.
you open the door and immediately find yourself faced with a massive expanse in this grand foyer of the still under construction, and it is just filled with people. There are dwarves, gnomes, humans, elves alike kind of milling about, hammering away. They're mounting extravagant looking paintings. They're digging away through crates and kind of pulling out cutlery and plates and trophies and all manner of accoutrement that one might find in a facility that would ultimately go up for sale or simply just highlight the extravagance of the facility. And in the epicenter is this kind of carved out dome that sinks into the ground with a glass overlay. So the glass makes up part of the floor. And it's very clear from where you're standing that this is meant to attract most of the attention of guests who are visiting the facility. This glass panel in the middle of the floor rises up, and you look up and see a large sunroof that makes up the central point of the ceiling of this particular kind of floor and grand entranceway, where light is just beaming down and then shimmering off and reflecting in many different directions in dazzling arrays of colors. And it's very clear to you without too much inspection that the floor underneath that glass piece is actually just laden with gemstones. And it's a very big symbol of extravagance and wealth right there in the main foyer of the Redwyne Trading Company. But it's not long with you standing there and kind of taking all of this in that an individual walks past you and kind of stops dead in their track and goes, "Oi, what do you want, son?"
Oh, my friend really wants to talk to Redwyne.
Me, my mom, me dad, and the guy that he's pretending that's not important. Yeah, we all want to speak to Galen Redwyne, but you don't see me doing it, so he ain't here. Why don't you fuck off?
Where is he?
Hell if I know. Who are you, anyway?
I'm Dunk.
That's great, Dunk. Why don't you and your little friends, as he kind of looks over your shoulder,
I'm a big friend.
see yourself out?
Blink.
Excuse me,
hello.
one more thing. Sorry, you said something about somebody pretending to be somebody.
What?
I'd like more information about that, or I am going to tell the authorities, being somebody from the guild, that you let us in.
Me dad's shagging with a guy. It's not important. I don't know why I told you that.
Are you
I mean,
being
that's
dishonest
fine.
right now? I would like to assess the truthfulness of his statement.
Sure.
Bullying.
Would that be an insight check?
It would be an insight
Oh,
check.
you're being an
That's gonna be a
asshole, Willem.
5.
He is not lying. His dad is shagging another man, but he's very ashamed of it.
Oh,
Open your mind,
oh, dude.
man. It's 20.
I got no.
It's fantasy 20.
I got no problem with it. It's just he's doing it to me, mum. So I'm supposed to be talking to you all. Get the hell out of here and don't come back.
Sounds good. You've got a very confusing accent, brother.
Thank you. Some people have told me I'm different people, so get fucked, mate.
I offer him a puff on my pipe.
No, I gotta be going back to work now. Thank you. And he just like shakes his head. He's like, "That's a weird interaction."
What does the
And he
safety
goes
and
off.
quality control of the materials of this place look like?
You get the
What are
sense
the
that this
workers
is a hastily roll a perception check.
Would it pass a fantasy OSHA inspection?
7.
Is this an engineering disaster waiting to happen?
Even very close inspection reveals that it's a very well-built structure, but that conditions are not great here. There's people everywhere. They're bumping into each other constantly. Hard hat protection is not being worn, and people are flying in the facility. There's kind of magically enchanted saucers that start to levitate folks up towards higher portions of the building where things are being hung or walls are being painted. And it's not it does not look safe. The saucers are kind of
I'm gonna walk up and hold up my emblem of Elray, which I'm counting on this guy to not understand what it is. And I'm going to say, I'm here on behalf of the Occupational Safety Association. And I've noticed several safety violations within this building. I didn't even start to look around the outside, but just standing here, I can see a bunch. Can I talk to your supervisor?
Listen, Dollface. Listen. I know who Elray is, and he got no authority here. So, you can take your badge and just leave.
Damn.
All right? Because I answer to Lord Redwyne and no one else.
Honestly, I was really counting on him not being that well known. What a guy, huh?
He's very well known.
Shit, I didn't know that. I'm not from here.
Yep.
Hey,
So what do you here? Anything fun to do around here? You know?
Are you asking him that?
Yes.
Yeah, plenty of fun things to do around here. And perhaps if you'd like to meet me after my shift is over, I'll show them to you.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
That's great. Sebastian.
Oh, yeah,
Friends call me Seb.
Just hit it hard.
Yeah. Well. And he kind of looks you up and down, really weird,
It'd be really
Yes.
cool if we could
Yeah.
talk to your boss, though.
Well, he ain't here right now. But
shit.
if he tends to be here at night after hours.
Really?
When it's just me working here at night.
Really?
And he doesn't like lots of guests.
Why just
so-
you two?
No, that's awesome, man. We'll all be here.
No, sorry. He gets crowded easily. He doesn't like big crowds. So we try to respect him.
I don't take up a lot of space. Don't worry.
Big man like yourself, you take up a lot of space.
Physically, sure.
Okay.
I meant more
Yeah.
like, and
And he kind of looks over at Brown and he goes, "This guy bothering you?"
No, he's a friend.
Oh, yeah, friend, just a friend.
Just a friend.
Wait a second, you guys aren't supposed to be here. Get the hell out of here.
Wait, but you said that
this guy's told us to leave. I like Sebastian.
wait, so far we walk in, try to talk to his boss, he tells us to leave. I pretend I'm with OSHA. He knows I'm lying. I backpedal hard. Flirt with him. And this time that we've
So
been
you
here
all are. Go ahead.
has red wine.
No, I mean not that you're aware of. But the individual who does arrive is a very burly-looking 6'5" orc gentleman who arrives behind Sebastian and kind of grumbles. Who are all these people? People not allowed here.
There's people everywhere, dude.
Yeah, but not you people.
I'm
You
just a
people
friend
aren't
of
supposed to be here.
Sebastian's.
True, Sebastian?
I smile at him.
No. He thinks like really hard. He's just like,
Sebastian, it could be true though.
she's not a friend.
Yet.
She's not a friend. Yet. She could be. But yeah, you guys gotta go. You guys gotta go, like, right now.
Shit, I guess.
Guess we gotta go.
As we're leaving, I'm gonna send Sebastian a message that only he can hear. And I'm gonna say, this cool big warehouse seems like it would be a fun place to meet up later tonight alone.
He hears this in his head and he just goes like, you just see like a guy like as soon as you all like leave and he kind of turns his back on you and he's a broom pusher, like he was pushing a broom through the lobby, like just sweeping up all the detritus of the people who are actually doing work. Not that there's anything wrong with people who push brooms. And he's just kind of like pushing the broom and he hears this in his head and he kind of freezes and he goes, he drops the broom and he's kind of like, he starts pushing the broom further on, and he kind of like looks back, and he's like,
I wink.
"Yeah, he's all about it."
Okay. We go out and we go outside to talk shit. Guys, I'm coming back here later. I can't. I think I button in. So, let's go to a bar and wait it out until it gets dark, and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go hang out with Sebastian, I guess.
Yeah, and I'll hang out with Redwyne. It's just he's really on my mind for some reason. Can't recall why.
I'm also gonna send a message to just some random person in that room as I leave and say, a lot of these working conditions are unsafe. You should unionize.
And then you list every ocean code violation.
I'm gonna plant the seeds to foment revolution.
Foment. Nice use of the word foment.
Yes.
All right. You all head back to Beaumont's Rest as the city begins to quiet and the night begins to fall and the moon rises over the Grey Ridge Mountains. And before long, you've had yourselves a nice dinner, and night has descended upon Westwatch.
And I put on my sluttier armor.
Mm-hmm.
I just look
Okay.
nice. And also,
What are the
do you have a
rest
heart
of you
out of
doing?
10?
Okay.
I'm following. I'm just gonna kind of
All right. Do we?
I'm following, but I'm not dressed in a slutty way, unfortunately.
Following me.
I mean,
Maybe follow me.
Dunk just always has a titty out, so
He has 2
Always.
titties out now.
right.
Dunk's like, I don't see any reason why I shouldn't be dressed up too.
I'm just gonna kind of stake out outside of the warehouse though, and keep an eye out for Redwyne, vaguely stealthily.
Okay. You can roll a perception check.
13.
You see the occasional passerby. It is still, while it is night, Westwatch is a busy city, and folks are kind of milling about, going between the taverns and or going home, or potentially even going to work as a city watchman or what have you. But people are about. This is not a quiet part of town by any stretch. Branwen, are you entering through the same door?
I'll knock and I'll wait.
You knock, and there is no answer.
I'll try to go in. Also, important
Okay.
note, can you please roll for hotness for Sebastian?
Oh, sure.
This is important.
10. Solid 10.
Nice and average. All right.
10.
I
Roll
can
it down
work
the
with
middle.
this.
Nice and average. Yep. All right. You enter and find that even though it is like there is no lighting, either natural or rather unnatural.
I have dark
Um,
vision.
Yeah, you have dark vision. The beams of light coming off of the large steel moon in the sky illuminate the central hall that you found yourself in
Like a
earlier,
great
and
pizza
continue
pie.
to reflect, indeed, and continue to reflect off of the gemstones that are inlaid into the central circle of the floor. But upon initial inspection, you find nobody of note.
I'll just keep walking in.
Okay.
I'm
You enter in.
not sneaking.
Okay. You enter in further, and as you step into the foyer and over the glass of the gemstone enclosure, your boots let out a heavy kind of clack, clack through that kind of echoes off of the wall of the large foyer, and you hear a whisper from around the corner. Redwyne, is that you?
Yes, it's me.
My goodness, I was beginning to think you'd never come. And Sebastian floats around the corner, and he has like
Float?
only a vest on, like he just kind of like
Only a vest.
slides around the corner. No, he has a vest and like
Dick
very
out, but wearing a vest.
Aladdin-like pantaloons,
Aladdin pet.
like they're very parachute pants-esque. And he holds out a single white flower and he goes, "I picked this from the cliffs over yonder outside town.
He's dressed like
Just
Toad
for you."
from Mario.
He is dressed like Toad.
I can't do it. Boys.
I
I'm
take
a
the
shy guy.
flower. So are you gonna
Mm,
show me around?
I'd love to show you around,
Give
but
me the
I'd much rather
insider's
show you
tip.
around. Oh, yes, I know all about Redwyne Trading Company, and I would be more than happy to show you, but I'd be happier to show you my abode.
I really should have given you one of my teeth so I could be communicating with you right now.
Can we retcon that? I feel like that's a reasonable retcon.
It is a reasonable retcon. I'll let you have one of your. You have one
I'm
of.
in a trance and I'm listening to all of this and I can perceive it all.
Yeah.
And I'm
You can
going to
feel
send you
me
a message.
cringe.
And I'm going to say something along the lines of, tell him that, you're looking for something that's a little more slow burn because it'll make the inevitability that much more exciting. And then tell him that, you really want it to be at his workplace because that's more filthy.
Rodman hears all of this and is like, I hate him. This is so
I am an 18-year-old boy.
I will
So
say.
if there were monster trucks, that would be sweet.
I will say, do you have any monster? No, I don't see that. I'll say, well, how many times are we gonna have the opportunity to, run around in here while no one's here?
Oh, run around. What a good way of putting it. Well, depends on how you like to run around, I suppose. Maybe I could show you around. I could show you around.
Yeah.
That'd
We'll
be
start
real
with that.
nice. Yeah. Okay. Well, this is the main foyer of Redwyne Trading Company. I'm sure you noticed the very nice gemstones in the
There's so
floor.
many
I'm falling
gems.
into Willem's voice, so I gotta come back out and get into more of an Australian thing. I'm sure you know. I'm sure you noticed the gemstones in the floor. Very
There's
nice,
so
right?
many gems. Where did they come from?
Redwyne sources them himself from the Cottadine mines.
Like he goes in there and like mines the gems.
Well, I mean, I've never met him. I mean, he doesn't tell
You've
me
never met him?
personally. Well,
That's right.
I thought you guys hung out here at night all the time.
well,
Do you like
Branwyn,
me?
I just a little lie. I mean, why would a girl like you be with a guy like me? You know. So I just thought I'd tempt you with a private tour with Galen Redwyne. It was stupid. I'm sorry.
Bye.
It's
No,
not.
we can still have the tour.
It's not stupid. It's really hot.
It's not stupid. It's really hot.
Kind of like standing there. He's like, yeah, that was my plan all along. If you follow me, I'll take you to.
I love.
If you follow me, I'll take you to a really cool room, Galen Redwyne's private office.
I love that we're
Oh.
doing the sitcom trope where a character goes on a date with a thing in their ear.
Yeah. Let's go in there. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mhm. You all leave. Willem, Randy, and Dunk make a perception check.
9.
It's gonna be good. It's 21.
Nope. 4. Yeah.
Willem, you are keenly aware of a approaching city watch patrol as a pair of hefty boots can be heard stomping upon the nearby cobblestone from around the corner.
The three of us are not doing anything right or wrong, correct? Loitering is not a crime.
You're just kind of loitering outside Redwyne. Loitering is not a crime, but you are loitering outside of a pretty important building.
Yep. I will send a message to Bronwyn and say, just so you know, there's some city watchmen. I don't know if they're going to come inside the facility, but they are present. There are hefty boots, 2 pairs approaching.
I don't answer.
I understand that you're
Branwen,
intimates.
Branwen, you follow Sebastian further into the foyer, which breaks off into a hallway to the right and to the left, as well as a door right in front of you. And he goes, "The office is on the 2nd floor, right up these stairs." And he opens the door, revealing the gruff face of the orc gentleman that met you earlier, as well as 2 other orcs who kind of stand there with their arms crossed, and one whose hand kind of drifts to this to his sword. He goes, "Taking a midnight stroll." And that's where we'll end it for this evening.
Oh.
Oops. Oh my gosh, you didn't tell me we'd have company. Rip Branwyn.
And
We're
we
not
will
arrested.
stop streaming here. Thank you all for tuning in to Nat20Hot, and we'll see you in 2 weeks, maybe. Thanks for tuning in.
Make sure your occupation, your the place where you work, is safe and following OSHA guidelines. And if not,
Yeah,
they're
and
That is very
also
true.
listen to the podcast. Well, there's your problem. To learn more
This
about
episode brought to you
obvious
by
safety
OSHA.
violations.
You should listen.
Dua Lipa.
Thanks,
love to
everyone.
Have you on someday.
Dua Lipa.